Okay, so that was the main controls. Now we can move on to the eyes. So the model has to be set up with skinned eyes. This rig doesn't support eyes that are in the morph targets. So you'll have to just keep that in mind. So if you want to do that, the eyes have to be named. If you want to use the eye controls here, then eyes have to be named a certain way. They have to have left and right and eye in the bone naming, and it'll look for those nodes. If you have two bones that have, like if you have two left eye bones, then it will fail. You can only have one left eye bone and one right eye bone, if that makes sense. And then it should recognize them and plug it in. So if you want to turn them on, just take on here, and the eye controls pop in the scene, and they're already hooked up. And basically they're like this, pretty standard stuff. And there are offsets that you can animate here if you want. The additional thing to this control is you have these two buttons called auto blink and saccade. So an auto blink is basically a blink animation that it creates for you. So if I have a layer here and I press auto blink, you can see the timeline over here scrubbing when I do that. So if I go back, I then have two blinks. The blinks are semi-random, so that means they're not exactly the same every time. So they're based on real world numbers and timing, and they should, be pretty good. And if you don't like the way they look, you can always adjust them by grabbing these controls and changing the keyframes here. But I think they look pretty good. Besides that, you have the saccade, which is the saccadic motion of the eyes. So when you go to look at something, you notice the eyes scanning around with a quick jerking of the eyes. So that's what this is supposed to do. So if we were to create a keyframe here, and then we'll have them quickly look over there, and we'll hold that for a while. Actually, maybe we'll make that happen way over here. Alright, so he moves it there. So when his eyes stop, we would think he might, if he's looking at something, he's going to have those quick jerking motions of the eyes, which are saccades. So if you press this, same thing like the blinks, it's going to go ahead and create those kinds of animations. And they're also random. And so you can see that's very subtle. Look at it again. So it's okay. I mean, I might want to do some more work with this. I think I tried to get it looking good, but I think this might need a little more work. Although I think it will get the job done, and you can always adjust the keyframes here to your liking. So I mean, it does save you time no matter what. Yeah, so that's the eye controls.